New committee for this session. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Boswell, Senator Deneen, Senator Douglas, Senator Funky Fromeyer, Senator Givens, Senator Neal, Senator Nemus,
Present.
Senator Webb, Vice Chair Bledsoe, Chair McDaniel.
Present. Having a quorum and duly constituted and authorized to conduct business, we will proceed. The first bill in front of us today is House Bill 1. There is a committee substitute to House Bill 1. At this time, the chair would entertain a motion on the committee sub by Senator Funky Fromeyer, second by Senator Bledsoe. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. Very well. House Bill 1, as it came to us initially from the House, is a very good piece of legislation. It gives us the opportunity to do transformational things. However, we ask ourselves the question, how do we ensure that we are competitive in the next century? We started by recognizing the amazing strides made by our colleagues in the House of Representatives, and then added to that by making strategic decisions about how to invest our resources, about how to help areas in need, about how to create a modern economy, and by investing in making our state a great place to live. We start by investing in our people. The first place of investment in House Bill 1 is a $30 million matching grant to the Home of the Innocents to provide continuing care for some of the state's most medically fragile children. Secondly, is to establish a pilot program in the Lake Cumberland Area Development District that will be split 50-50, or I'm sorry, that will go towards rehab and recovery in that area. The third place that we will invest is $10 million to the Lexington Affordable Housing Project. And finally, in this area, we will spend $75 million for a tiered, one-time 13th check for retirees of the KERS systems as well as the state police retirement systems. I said tiered because based off of the longevity of your current retirement as well as the threshold which you meet, you will receive a graduated check with the highest amounts going to the lowest people drawing a pension check and with the most time in retirement. Next, we invest in energy, an ongoing conversation in the Commonwealth, and we send $75 million for a nuclear siting application to the Center for Applied Energy Research and allow them to use the interest from that for ongoing nuclear research and match applications through Department of Defense and Department of Energy. Next, we invest in public safety. We've already begun work at the Madisonville DOCJT facility, and this budget includes $50 million to complete the build-out so that we can begin operating a new training center for the DOCJT. Next, we invest $10 million each at the University of Louisville and Murray State for cybersecurity joint application that they have made. However, we recognize that we must also invest in education. In education, we send $60 million to Murray State University to reinforce the academic success of the veterinary tech program. We also send $16 million to ARH for the hazard psychiatric residency program as requested in the governor's budget. We must also invest in economic development. To that end, we have sent $8 million to Morehead State University to fully fund their deep space array, $25 million for a conference center in Ashland, Kentucky, $36 million to invest in the crown jewel of the Commonwealth's horse industry at the Kentucky Horse Park. We create a new economic development fund for economically disadvantaged counties, which would be the 60 poorest counties in the Commonwealth, to help recruit new and innovative businesses. We also create a $35 million Defense Industry Development Fund to attempt to attract defense contractors into the Commonwealth. Finally, we invest $21.9 million to create a beef innovation center in Mercer County. But we can invest in none of these if we don't also invest in the health of our people. To that end, We have an investment of $25 million at the University of Louisville Cancer Center in Bullitt County. We invest $150 million for a joint project between the Commonwealth, Northern Kentucky University, and the University of Kentucky College of Medicine, whereby the University of Kentucky College of Medicine and NKU's Chase College of Law would co-locate in the old IRS development site. We invest $12 million in a cancer center in Middlesboro, Kentucky, and $12 million to the Pikeville Medical Center for necessary upgrades. While we do this, we recognize the need for quality of life investments in the Commonwealth, and we've put $25 million into a community-focused parks program whereby a locality with a park project with a minimum of $2 million total cost would be eligible for a grant through the Department of Local Government at a dollar-for-dollar match, where the locals would have to put up an even amount there. Moving on in infrastructure. We invest $10 million in Grayson County for a municipal airport. We invest $5 million in Louisville, $5 million in Lexington, and $25 million in CVG for requested improvements at those airports. And finally, we've recognized the need for further investment in the road fund. And to that end, we transfer $890 million from the Budget Reserve Trust Fund to the road fund to be used in growth areas for particular road projects. Finally, we can do nothing if we don't invest in some of our economic engines in this Commonwealth. And to that end, we have put $100 million into the city of Louisville for urban redevelopment projects as named in the bill. It is the belief of the sponsor, and I believe the committee as well, that these investments in our people, in our energy, in public safety and education and economy, in health, quality of life, and infrastructure in our communities are both necessary and worthy. We stand at an odd juncture in history where we have taken in far more in receipts than we anticipated, and we have one-time monies, and we maintained our commitment to spend those monies in a way that is a one-time spending and not only does not incur recurring obligation, but instead stimulates recurring economic activity. At this time, I would entertain any questions on the bill, and if there are none, a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'm pleased to make a motion for passage of House Bill 1 as amended by.
Second.
The motion is by President Pro Tem Givens, the second by Senator Mays Bledsoe. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Boswell. Aye. Senator Deneen. Aye. Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Aye. Senator Givens.
Aye.
Senator Bledsoe.
Aye.
Senator Neal. Senator Nemus.
Aye.
Senator Webb. Chair McDaniel.
Aye. There being 8 aye votes, no nay votes, the measure passes with favorable expression, and we'll move on to the floor. And so as to not give the President Pro Tem a heart attack, I won't entertain a motion for consent. All right, very well. Moving along to House Bill 6. House Bill 6 is the executive branch budget, and there is a committee substitute. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion.
So move on the second.
Senator Givens, second by Dr. Douglas. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. The committee substitute is adopted. Obviously, the biggest thing that we will do every 2 years, and our main constitutional obligation, is to pass a biennial budget for the Commonwealth. This is the Senate's proposal for the Commonwealth's biennial spending plan. Starting with statewide implications, we begin with personnel salary adjustments. Those in attendance and those watching will recall that last year we spent a record amount on a compensation survey to ensure that we brought our Commonwealth's compensation in line with the 21st century economy. At this point, absent a few select information technology positions, that salary survey has been fully implemented and should be functioning as the General Assembly intended and is administered through the Personnel Cabinet. The IT positions will be funded as recommended by the Personnel Cabinet. All other involved in the state compensation system will see a 2.6% increase in each year of the biennium. This number is drawn from the Federal Reserve's personal consumption expenditures, which at this time are the preferred gauge for inflation by the Federal Reserve. Also, we increased the CLEP training stipend by 2.6% each year of the biennium. We leave in place the House's recommendations related to necessary government expenses and the caps thereon. Inside of Commonwealth's attorneys, we increased the general fund by $2.5 million each year for additional positions. And as a general policy across all of state government, we do conform with House Bill 8 for all quasi-subsidies related to the pension system. Inside of the School Facilities Construction Commission, we do amend language for special offers of assistance to identify 6 schools that previously had received awards but yet find themselves with a shortfall. Inside of the teachers' retirement system, we did fully fund the increase in the actuarially determined contribution, which is an additional $160 million in the first year of the budget and $300 million in the second year of the budget. We also increased general fund to fully support the availability payment paid to the old Kentucky Wired, now known as Kentucky Communications Network Authority, of $36 million per year. Inside of SEEK, we concurred with the House and kept the per-pupil base guarantee increase at 4% and 2%, respectively. However, we increased the Tier 1 threshold from 15% to 20% in the first year of the biennium, and we fund transportation at 80% and 90% in each year of the biennium as well. Finally, we have certain districts who have experienced an odd situation whereby their property values have increased beyond, which causes a corresponding decrease in their SEEK dollars. We have amended language to help them by allowing a 2-year offering of an additional 4% locally that the state would match at 67% and 33% respectively in each year of the budget. We increased the state's general fund contribution for on behalf of insurance payments for the districts by $93 million the first year and $228 million the second year. And we also increased general fund by $8 million in each fiscal year to support the Center on School Safety. We also provided additional funding for the Junior ROTC pilot program of $623 million in the first year and $654 million in the second year. Inside of the Finance and Administration Cabinet, we increased restricted funds by $3.6 million in fiscal 24 and $6.5 and $7.4 in 26 for the Kentucky Affordable Prepaid Tuition Trust Fund. And we also increased juror pay from $5 per day to $25 per day. Inside of the Medicaid benefits language, we added, across the biennium, we added 750 Michelle P. waiver slots, 375 supports for community living slots, 750 home and community-based services slots, and 50 acquired brain injury long-term care slots. We did note, however, that prior to any of those slots being authorized, a full review of the lists that underlie them must be conducted in order to ensure applicant eligibility and the applicability of the slot to that particular applicant at that point in time. We also added funding for slots for waivers for folks with serious mental illness, with substance use disorders, with severe emotional disabilities, autism spectrum disorders, and intellectual disabilities. Further, we increased the general fund by $3.8 million each fiscal year to support an increase in the personal needs allowance from $40 to $60 per month. We also ensured that the rebasing of nursing homes was fully funded in both years of the biennium. In the Friskies unit, we increased general fund by $4 million each fiscal year for the operations of additional centers that currently serve more than one school. Inside of the community-based services line item, Our children's advocacy centers, domestic violence centers, and rape crisis centers are experiencing a financing anomaly at the federal level that will result in a one-time, one-year loss to those centers that provide such crucial services to the Commonwealth of $17 million, and we fully appropriate general fund to backfill that hole. We also appropriate additional general, restricted, and federal funds in each year to increase the relative caregiver reimbursement rate for foster children. Finally, we increase the general fund by $19.8 million in each fiscal year to support CCAP initiatives, including income exclusion for eligibility determinations for child care providers, 6-month transition to eliminate the benefit cliff for families no longer eligible for CCAP, background check fees, and we also establish an Innovations in Early Childhood Education Delivery Fund. Inside of the CLEP fund, we also, for the first time, authorize payments for part-time certified police officers. Inside of the Attorney General's office, we kept with the House's thinking on a body armor grant program there. We funded that from the same funding source with $5 million in the first year and $10 million in the second year. In juvenile justice, we largely concurred with most of the governor's recommendations, with the exception that we put design money for the juvenile psychiatric facility in the second year of the biennial budget, but also increased general funds by $3.9 million each year to support increases in alternative to detention programming and contracts. Inside of the Kentucky State Police, we increased the general fund to support an additional trooper class each year of the biennium of 75 additional troopers, and also added language prescribing maximum percentage of sworn troopers that can be assigned to a detail other than a post. Inside of the same budget unit, there was a sunsetting of the performance-based funding in jails model that we chose to continue and fully fund in both years of the biennium. Inside of the Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority, we increased general fund by $7.3 million each year for the student teacher stipend program, and included $10 million each year for the Innovative Scholarship Project pilot project, increased general fund by $1.1 million. Okay. Increased general fund by $1.1 million for the Kentucky Rural Veterinarian Loan Repayment Program, and also directed KIA to conduct an evaluation and examine the effectiveness of the distribution of KEYS Merit Scholarship based off of a recipient's high school grade point average. Inside of the post-secondary education budget, all institutions' number one projects were funded, except for Kentucky State University, where we gave them a doubling of the amount of asset preservation money to $100 million to ensure that they could revitalize the campus that is the educational jewel in the town of Frankfort. At the University of Louisville, we increased general fund by $1.5 million in fiscal year 25 for an immigration law clinic at the Louis D. Brandeis School of Law. At Northern Kentucky University, we took $20 million from the number one project and reduced that appropriation and put it in for the expansion and enhancement of new online programs. Also in higher education, we made a historic investment whereby we more than doubled the amount of money that goes to the post-secondary educational institutions through performance-based funding. We increased that amount from $97 million per year to $200 million per fiscal year. In the Horse Racing Commission, we increased restricted funds by $45 million in each fiscal year to support the Thoroughbred Development Fund, $20 million each year to support the Standardbred Development Fund. We increased the appropriation in Tourism, Arts, and Heritage by $350,000 each fiscal year that goes for the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage. While there are countless things that occur inside of this several hundred-page document, I believe once again that it reflects the will of the committee and the intention of the chair and ideally of the body later today to effectively spend the resources of the Commonwealth that come from the hard-earned dollars of the taxpayers in order to make to make the Commonwealth better for all of our citizens and position us for the 21st century economy. At this time, I will gladly entertain any questions. Seeing none, the chair will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'm proud to make a motion, and first of all, let me say thank you for your work, your leadership, and the work of staff in getting us to this place in the process, but I am proud to make a motion that this committee report favorably House Bill 6 as amended by PSS 1.
Motion by President Pro Tem Givens, second by Senator Webb. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Boswell. Senator Deneen. Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Senator Givens. Senator Bledsoe. Senator Neal. Senator Nemus.
Aye.
Senator Webb. Chair McDaniel.
Aye. There being 10 aye votes, no nay votes, the measure passes with favorable expression, advances to the floor. And just as we did with House Bill 1, I will not entertain a motion for consent. Very well. Thank you to everyone on the committee. The last bill in front of us today will be House Bill 263. House Bill 263 is the legislative branch budget. As with the other two, there is a committee substitute. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion on the sub.
So moved.
Senator Mays Bledsoe, second by Senator Nemus. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The ayes have it. Very well. The only two changes from the original House Bill 263, first are, as we did with the executive branch, the 2.6 and 2.6% raise that will occur across the entirety of the legislative branch. Also, the Commonwealth is hosting SLC in the biennium, and there is a $1 million appropriation to offset the costs related to hosting that event. Are there any questions?
Motion on the bill.
Motion by President Pro Tem Givens, second by Dr. Douglas. All those in favor, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Boswell. Senator Deneen. Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Senator Givens. Senator Bledsoe.
Aye.
Senator Neal. Senator Nemus.
Aye.
Senator Webb. Chair McDaniel.
Aye. Being 10 aye votes, no nay votes, the measure passes with favorable expression as well. I would like, before we adjourn the meeting today, to also extend my thanks to Jenny and Seth and the Budget Review staff for the countless hours that they have put in on this process, and also to Jim, Jennifer, and Luke on our side in the Senate, who have devoted equally as much time to this, and we always appreciate their efforts. All right, at this time, oh yes, we do have a couple need to record votes. Thank you,
Aye.
Senator. All right. Senator Webb
Anonymous.
votes aye on House Bill 1. Does anyone else need to record a vote? Senator Neal needs to record an aye vote on House Bill 1. All right. At this time, seeing no other business to come in front of the committee, we'll stand adjourned.